or someone you loved was diagnosed with an incurable disease. As weeks and months go by, your disease progresses and your health declines. Would you like the right to end your painful suffering with a physician's aid? Based on my extensive research, I've concluded that within the realm of reasonable cause and with criteria markers met, this option should be available to terminally ill patients living with illnesses. In order to make physician-assisted death or PAD available and a standard option in more parts of the U.S., we must weigh the pros and the cons, set aside moral values and judgments, and implement strict criteria to ensure the best interests of the patient. So one of the biggest problems with PAD is that moral values and personal feelings cloud judgment, leading some individuals to make biased decisions. For example, Ryan Anderson says, PAD's most profound injustice is that it violates human dignity because it's not what God intended. So he is allowing his personal feelings to cloud his judgment and make decisions for others, those that are living with terminal illnesses and suffering unimaginably. So, for example, Christy O'Donnell, living with terminally ill illness, cancer, says that other people cannot make decisions for her simply because they are not living in her body. They're not living with her disease, and they don't know what she is going through every day. So malignant neoplasms, according to the CDPH, is the largest group of individuals to utilize the act by 65.9%. So PAD offers a relatively harmless and quick manner where people that want to use it are surrounded by loved ones. They die within 6 minutes in a harmless way. First, there is a physician who assists. They will implement a sedative, and finally the person dozes off. So Lesser agrees with me. He says that it's not for the law to force people with rational ground for choosing death to remain alive. So we should respect people's choices, that some people are simply just incapable of dealing with pain and dependence. So PAD is really to preserve the last ounce of independence because they've been robbed from it. So now that I've explained the consequences of moral judgment, I will move on to the causes of this injustice. So many people believe PAD is wrong because it violates because doctors are made to help and not hurt. So PAD actually offers a new type of patient-doctor relationship, one with more trust, reliance, honesty, and integrity. A patient is more likely, patients who are able to discuss sensitive issues such as these are more likely to trust their physicians, according to Cheryl Smith. So since a patient has confided so much in their doctor, it shows the honesty and integrity of that doctor and patient relationship. It also shows the honesty of the process. So now that I've discussed the causes of PAD being rejected by some, I will describe the measures we should be taking to implement this act in every state. So we must come up with a way to make it a standard decision for every terminally ill patient by implementing strict guidelines and policies that we will adhere to ensure its productivity. So one of the things that we should ensure is that the person is 18 years or older, that they voluntarily request the drugs, that they have a disease and expectancy to live of 6 months, and that they are able to administer the drugs by themselves. So all in all, let's not forget that this is simply an option, a safer option for those that are living with diseases that cause them to suffer every day. So looking here at this table, good one. 7 individuals prescribed, 363 or 62.9% went through with it. So they may or may not use it, but the point is that it's simply there for them to use if they must need it. This is so they will not turn to alternative dangerous options. And really it's a relatively quick, pain-free death surrounded by people that they love. So in conclusion, more states need to adopt this law so terminally ill patients can be at ease for their end-of-life options. More options can be available to them, such as this. So more light needs to be shed on PAD so people can see how beneficial it is and respect it for what it truly embodies. So today I talked about PAD, the problems surrounding the negativity, how we should move aside our personal judgments and moral values to give people the options that they need, and finally a strict criteria that we can adhere to as a nation so that terminally ill patients can find a way out safely. So if you woke up this morning with simple things to worry about, like what you are having for dinner tomorrow or what time you will be picking up your kids, then you are part of the lucky ones. Terminally ill patients don't know if they are waking up to see another day. You can help change that by voting yes on the EOLOA Act in your state. It may not, terminally ill patients today may not see that change, but maybe the next patient will. Thank you.